Hey guys, Chris Udemy here. Lovely to see you all again. Today we're going to be looking at the solo from Among the Living by Anthrax. Let's take a look. Okay, so before we get into this solo, I just want to say that Dan Spitz is a complete weirdo. This solo is like, I don't know, it's kind of Slayery, I guess. A lot of the things don't make sense within the key, but I do like it a lot more than Slayer. I think there's a bit of merit to what Dan does, even though it doesn't necessarily make sense to me. We're going to start off with this little bend on 16 of the 3rd string. I go kind of in and out like that Tornado of Souls intro bend. So we've got... At the top of that, I'm going to hit a pinch harmonic at the top of that 16 bend. What I'm doing is I'm kind of going sort of what 4 frets would be past the 24th fret. So if you're looking for a reference point for that, think about the fact that from 4 frets up from 12, you've got that. So 4 frets up from 24, if you can imagine that, you'll be able to hit a squeal somewhere around there. After that, I work into this phrase. Let's take that a bit slower. I'm going to go up and down from the 16 bend again, then jump to 13 of the 2nd string back to 16 of the 3rd. At the end of that, I'm going to play 13 to 12 and then do a hammer-on pull-off from 12. So it's going 12, 13, 12, then I jump to 15 of the 4th string. So from that most recent phrase, at the end of that, I'm going to be playing 13 on the 3rd string and then trilling for, I think it's 3 beats. 2, 3, yeah. So from the start we should have this. Hopefully that's all making sense. Then I slide into this phrase. Let's slow that down. I'm starting from 15 of the 4th string. And then I'm doing a hammer on from 12 to 13 on the 3rd string. And then I hit the 12 again. And I basically play the same thing twice, but I don't play a slide on the start of the 2nd 15. So I go... Hopefully that's making sense. I know I say that a lot, I'm sorry. And then I go... That part, I'm kind of picking everything. I'm playing 12, 13, 12 on the 4th string. Then jumping to 15 of the 5th. And we end that on 12, 13, 12 of the 4th. So from the start of this little chunk now, we've got this. Then I work into this phrase. Like melodically, what is that? It's so weird, but it's awesome. So I've got a hammer on from 8 to 9 on the 4th string. I'm going to hammer on that and then play the 8 by itself. Then I go, so there's a little gallop there. I'm going to be playing a double 6 and a 7, so it's kind of just like 2 16ths into an 8th. At the end of that. So after that gallop, I'm playing 4, 5 of the 5th string. Then I play 5 of the 4th into a little trill thing. So we've got all together. Then I'll go for 2 beats. 1, 2, and that will resolve to 7 of the 5th string. So the most recent chunk. Hopefully that's making sense. And then I've got 1 note on 8th fret of the 1st string that will lead us into the 2nd section. We kind of need that note to get us ready for that. So that's the whole first chunk. I'll play it again relatively slowly, and then we'll do it again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. Okay, so we've just ended the first section on this 8th fret, and then we work into this descending pattern, working in 4/16 notes or 4 semiquavers at a time. It's kind of Phrygian dominant-y, harmonic minor at times, but as I said before, I don't really know what Dan's doing as far as like melodic note choice goes. It just all sounds pretty cool to me. So I've got this at the front. Those first 4 notes are 12, 10, 8, 7 on the first string. The next 4 notes, I'm playing 10, 8, 7 on the first, jumping to 10 of the second. Okay. It's quite a sort of obvious cascade, for lack of a better word. And then I'm going to be playing 8, 7 on the first string and then 10, 8 on the second. All together. At the end of that. So what I've got there is I'm playing 7 of the first string and then 10, 8, 7 on the second, and that's going to be the first bar of this run. And then from there we go into this. Let's slow that down so you can hear that some of those harmonic notes are getting involved. So we've got the next group's going to start from 10 of the second string, and we're going to play 10, 8, 7, then jump to 9 of the third. Then I'm going to play 8, 7 on the second and then 9, 8 on the third. Those 2 groups of 4 back to back. Then I jump to 7 of the second string, and then I'm going to play 9, 8, 5 on the third. As you can see, that jump is a little bit awkward, but once we're there, we're kind of working into the rest of that run, so we don't need to be too concerned with that jump once we're there. So this is what we should have thus far of the second group. At the end of that, I'm going to be playing 9, 8, 5, and then 4. Now obviously, from where we are, with what fingers we have left, I'm going to have to use that pointer finger twice. There's not really much that we can do about that. Let's try and put both bars together. We should now have 2 groups of 4 groups of 4, if you want to look at it that way, or 8 groups of 4. I'll play it a little bit less choppy now. Okay, the next group is going to start from 8 of the third string. I'm going to play 8, 5, 4. This is a bit of a weird Phrygian dominant-y stretch. Jumping to 7 of the fourth. Then I'm going to play 5, 4 on the third string. And then 7 to 5 on the fourth string. So once again, cascading in a pretty predictable manner. I'm then going to play 4 of the third string. And then 7, 5, 4 on the fourth. Then I've got that chunk there. I'm playing 7, 5, 4 on the fourth string and jumping to 7 of the fifth. So of the most recent chunk, we should have this. That's 3 bars now that we've got of that big long shred run, and then I work into this. You add a little squeal there if you want to. So let's have a look at that last chunk. I'm going to be playing 5, 4 on the fourth and then 7, 6 on the fifth. And then I'm going to hit the 6 again. So there's kind of almost a little gallop in there as well. So I'm going to do the gallop from double 6 to 7, then jumping to 4th fret of the 4th string. And then I work into the cheeky little tap bit. But let's have a look at what we've got of that big run, and then the squeal that follows, and then we'll work through the tap. So quite a lengthy, it's not that it's a lengthy section, it's just a lot of content to this second chunk. So we've got... Hopefully that's making sense. And then I'm going to go to this phrase. So it's not that hard to play. The weird thing is this is an offbeat quaver. So he goes 1. And then goes into that little trill there. So I'll slow down what I'm doing. I'm doing a tap on 13 of the first string, and that's pulling off to 6, 10. So I've got the tap, pull off to 6, hammering to 10, and then I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to hammer 6, 8. You notice the tap's in the same spot. And as I'm doing it, I'm kind of going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So every time I'm tapping to the pinky note on 10, I'm counting the number, and then I'm doing and on the 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... After I've done 4 and of that tapping sequence, at the end of that, I've got a little trill from 6 to 7 on the first string. At the end of that, big bend from 22 of the first, up and down. Then I hit it again and add some vibrato at the top. At the end of that, this is before we get into the ending, I'm going to play 7, 9, 7 on the third string. And I do like to add a little bit of stank, a bit of a quarter note bend on that 7 when I return to it. That's going to resolve to 9 of the fourth. And that is all of the second section. So from that last chunk, now we'll put it all together. Take it slowly from the top. One more time with some taps. Alright guys, last section. Most of this is just those semitonal trills, but it is very fun. I'm going to start with an open note, slide into 7 of the 6th string, and then a trill from 6 to 7. From that point, I'm going to slide into 8 of the 5th, and then do a trill from 7. The same thing, but from 9, 8 on the 4th string. Then I return back to 8 of the 5th string. Altogether thus far, this is what we should have. From that point, so from there, I want to go back to the 4th string, sliding into 9, doing a trill from 8, and I slide into 10 of the 3rd string. It's going from 10 to 9, and I go into 12 of the 2nd string. At the end of that, I'm going to slide into 13, and then I'm going to do a trill from 12 to 13, but that takes up 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's have a look what we've got from the start thus far. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I work into this phrase. This was really, really back in the mix. It took me forever to find an isolated guitar track of this, and then once I got it, I was like, oh, that's what's going on. I just couldn't hear it in the original version. Super weird. What I've got here is a hammer on from 13 to 17. I'm rolling back to that 13 and then doing a pull off to 12. So you kind of want to have all sort of 3 of those fingers already down, so you can just roll through that phrase. Then I've got a 3-note chromatic into sort of a semitone slide as well. So I'm playing 14, 13, 12 on the 2nd string, and then sliding to 11. So instead of having like a 4-note chromatic like that, that works just as well, especially from the phrase we've come from. At the end of that, at full speed, you might want to economy pick, mini sweep this. Sorry, I'm playing 12 of the 3rd and 14 of the 4th. So we've got that whole phrase. And that is the whole last section. Let's do it slowly from the start, and we'll do it again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. And that was the solo from Among the Living by Anthrax. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe. And if you want tabs to this lesson and any of my future lessons and all secret, exciting content, please join up with the mailing list. I'm not doing Patreon anymore. It's too much pressure and kind of keeps me a little bit more in control, and I can stay in contact with you guys in and outside of YouTube, which I think is nice and cool. Should mention now that I've got several books out and several video courses. If you want to check the links in the description to those, that would be great. And my band Teramaze is constantly releasing music. If you want to check out that Bandcamp, you can get music, you can get tabs, you can get physical copies, you can get GP, XGP, and PDF versions of all of our most recent work. So it's very exciting to be able to share some original music with you for a change. Anyway, hope you guys have all been well. I'll catch you all very soon.